Howdy, Art. Bye, Art. Aha.
Hi, Leroy.
That's going to sound better, isn't it? I think so.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Nice and loud.
Okay. Yeah, I had this headset for a while, but I didn't put it on, so it hadn't ever taken it out of the package. So, at any rate, this is a USB headset, so it seems to work pretty well.
It's set itself up as its own sound card or something like that.
I believe that's the case.
Yeah.
It's a Logitech USB headset mono, and it is both the microphone and the speaker. So, there we go.
And they are not horrible on eBay. $18. I guess that's not horrible.
I got this at Amazon, and I don't remember what it was, but it was not expensive enough for me to feel any significant portion of pain. So yeah, it's great, except that when we have our family gatherings or when I have multiple people at my site, obviously, it's only good for one person. So
right.
But I'm running on this workstation. I'm running Ubuntu 2020.1. So, and it works on, obviously it's working on Linux just fine. So.
Ray, you better put a level on that desk you're working at there. Just saying.
What?
Ray might want to put a level on that desk he was working on. Looked like he was a couple of bubbles off there for a while.
He's driving a van.
He had it sideways there for a while.
Yeah, Ray was sideways.
His video working.
Oh, look who's here. He's muted, but that's okay.
There.
Mike, there's a button on the left that you can unmute, move your cursor around, and on the bottom left, you'll see a mute button.
There he is.
Cursor. Yeah. Unmute. Or you might try like me, just curse. Or use the cursor, either one. Yeah. How you doing, Mike?
Doing well, doing well. Is Ray driving?
He's driving sideways. He's trying to figure that one out.
Oh, maybe he's flying.
He's driving this bus today. So what's been going on? You've been bike riding? Mike, you've been bike riding?
Oh, yeah. I got the pedal assist to work. Don't like it, but it works. So now I'm going to work on a torque system. So the harder I press on the pedals, that'll give me varying output. So sounds like a winter project, though.
That's good.
Got a new battery from HD Direct, I think. It's a Chinese distributor. So I got a 40 cell LiPo battery, and it seems to be working okay. Just took a month to get here.
How big is that?
It's 16 inches long. So now I got to find a way to store it in case it wants to explode or catch fire.
Okay, how far can you ride on it?
I'm still breaking it in.
Well,
So yeah, went out for about a 5-mile ride, mostly on power, and it was still going strong.
500?
5 miles.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Probably depends on whether you're going uphill or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right out here in the river valley, so it's all flat.
You'd probably do the trails, so the trails follow the river and the rivers are flat, pretty flat.
Yeah. And I'm right alongside the Great Miami Bike Trail rather than the Little Miami. I'm on the other side of town.
Oh, okay. So what else is going on? What else is new with you?
Oh, not much. Not much. I was reading about Texas Instrument making a new little microprocessor. I don't know how long that's been out.
What did they make?
It's like an Arduino competitor, but you can, once you get it programmed, you can pull the chip out
Okay.
and then run some peripheries on it, you know, run power to it and things like that. And you can run it right off of a breadboard. And when you buy it, they said it's like $15 or $20 and it comes with 3 chips. But yeah, it was a Texas Instrument launch pad, they called it.
Launch. They make a bunch of different launch pads. Do you know what the model was?
No, like I said, I was just at lunchtime. I was just Googling around and checking things out. Came across that, and I saw a guy with a take a little pair of tweezers, and after he got it running, pulled the chip out and popped it onto a breadboard, and it did the same functions. And he could pop another, you know, depending on what kind of RAM he wanted, he could pick a different chip.
Interesting. TI has made they make like a launchpad board, and the programmer is attached to the board, and then if you want it to be like a single use kind of deal, you could break the programmer off and put the programmer somewhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. And then they've got other boards that have like, you know, some of the crystals or whatever, and you could break those off, snap those off, and use it for once it's programmed. So that's not an entirely new thing with TI, but I haven't seen somebody just pull the chip out and stick it on a breadboard.
Yeah, it was yeah, the actual board that you get, you know, had the 16-pin socket on it,
Right.
and the guy just pops it off.
Kind of like that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, see these little hash lines right here?
Ah, that's so you can break it.
Yep, you can. This is the programmer. And I'm not sure what, I guess if you don't need the buttons. But once you program it, you can just snap that off. Of course, once it's snapped off, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I don't understand what happens with the line that went through the socket there, though.
Yeah, that one's unusual.
The socket break in half there someplace, or
That one's a little different. That one's, most of them you can just break the programmer off. So it looks like that that board that I just showed you. Maybe that's the board that he's using, because there's a couple of other pictures with different chips in it. So maybe that's what he's doing. So that's got a different. That one's got a different chip. It's the same board. So maybe he's able to program a chip that is breadboardable with it. I don't know. That's new. I like those launch pads.
Yeah, I figure you've got one of everything, don't you?
Not everything. I do have a couple of launch pads. I'm not real sure where they are. Oh, it's Skinny. We lost Ray.
Yeah.
He's out driving somewhere though, so he's going somewhere.
If you don't change, or are you talking about right now? What's going on? Can your microphone work on your phone?
It does. It's not 100% perfect, but people say they can hear me now.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be sticking stuff in that hole anymore. What's going on with you, Art?
Well, you know, the usual stuff. I'm assisting on my classes. Unfortunately, my replacement is a little slow coming up to speed. And so I'm going to have whatever the politically correct term for a come to Jesus conversation is with him. He doesn't seem to be putting his shoulder to the wheel, so that's been occupying my time for the last, actually a couple of weeks, but this last week was kind of a disaster. I had to take over and do the lecture, and I'm supposed to be only consulting this term, so I don't have any leverage because he doesn't work for me. He works for our mutual boss, so to speak, and this is a classic thing. How do you motivate an employee who is unmotivatable?
You develop a plan and have him sign off on it and get his approval through his boss. We need to develop a plan. Here's a plan. These are the steps.
Yeah, I know. I've done that a couple of thousand times in my career, but
you're good.
This is an academic environment where everybody is in a union, so it is there are limitations as to what I can do. So, at any rate, my boss knows that as of the end of this semester, barring some major change, it turns midnight and I turn into Pumpkin or Cinderella or whatever and steal off into the night.
I think you got it. There's your plan.
Yeah.
So
the problem.
And there's not going to be a glass slipper left behind.
That's my intention.
a brown thing. What is that?
So, oh, I heard Ray come back.
Ray's back.
Okay. So, at any rate, other than that, I'm gonna have to talk to Ray. My Ubiquity Unify system has um, bit the dust on me. I shouldn't blame it on them, but basically what I decided to do this last week was tune it up a little bit, because I had this problem with the Raspberry Pis um, going offline. We discussed last week or the week before, whatever. At any rate, so I decided to tweak things a little bit. Well, this is one of those carburetor tweaks that ends up with the engine not starting anymore. I assume nobody else here has ever done that, but uh, I should have left it alone. So, at any rate, Ray, I'm going to need to call upon you for a little consultation here. I managed to screw the pooch, so to speak. At any rate, other than that, everything's hunky dory. By the way, I looked at on the Micro Center website, and I could not find sub $5 32 gig micro SDs. Are those only in the store that price, or?
You, yeah, you probably have to go to the store to get them.
The ones I could find were like $6 or $7, which is not going to break the bank. But I was wondering if you had a link to the sub $5 ones.
I will look here real fast.
By the way, I tested those chips, those 32 gigs that I had here. They were, by the way, Micro Center 32 gigs that I bought, I guess, 4 years ago. And they were perfectly good. They scanned great. And the utility that I use is a Linux utility called Bad Block. I don't know if you've ever used that before or not. It's Bad Block. You put in several different parameters depending on what you want to do, and then the location of the chip on your system, and it runs 4 scans. It's not real fast. It takes well over an hour to scan the 32 gigs, but it said they're good. And then I mounted them, and I could see the whole operating system. It was all there. It was all there configured and so forth and so on. So I don't think that's the problem. However, I did some research on the Raspberry Pi failure modes. This is a 3B. And what they said was that what can happen is the socket that you put the micro SD in can fail.
Okay.
In other words, the contacts don't make contacts after a certain point, so which is kind of surprising, given that you kind of put them in once and leave them there. You don't put them in, take them out, put them in, take them out. I mean, you're only going to put them on the board maybe, half a dozen times in the whole life of the system. But what a number of people said was that thing fails. And what you have to do is wiggle the chip a little bit. In other words, you grab a hold of it with your fingernail, move it back and forth. Well, I did that. My ultimate conclusion is those two Raspberry Pi boards are just stone dead.
They bit the dust.
Well, I think it comes down to after you've spent a few hours on on a $30 board, it's time to throw it in the trash bin and buy another one. I mean, if your time's worth anything, you know, you throw it out and get a new one. So,
Hey Art,
yeah.
have you ever burned up an SD chip?
Not that I'm aware of.
It can
But
be
these
done.
are good. But these are tested. These test good. They're the chips when I do a scan on them are fine. They enumerate fine on my workstation.
They're
I can see the entire file structure. They test out golden. So
I put a link in the chat block for the $3.
oh, cool, thanks.
So you probably have to go to Micro Center to get that for $3. So
Oh, so you're saying you cannot buy this online? Okay.
I don't think so. You could try.
Okay.
You can try. But
I had several occasions with some of my cameras where I have to go in and out automatically when I have trouble and I can't see the SD chip in it. I'll cycle it a couple of times, in, out, and then lock it in. And sometimes they do come back. It sounds like the chip is not your problem, though. I think those contacts, I don't think they have gold in the Chinese sockets.
They
Just
don't,
guessing.
on the Raspberry Pi 3s, they don't lock in place either. They just, you stick them in there.
Wow.
Well, this is 3B.
Right. They don't lock in place, so you just shove them in there.
At any rate, it's one of those things where it's called throwing good money after bad. I mean, it's at a certain point, it's just not worth messing with anymore. So, Ken, how did you burn out these SD chips?
Don't know, but I've done it.
Okay.
I will verify that he did blow it up. I've never seen one blown up, but he did blow it up.
Oh, was physically blown up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Smoke came out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think what happens with those little cheap cameras is you can get that chip in there and it won't be in the socket.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
cross contact or shorted or something or other.
I suspect so, but it was smoking fire, and it was. I've lost several chips inside the camera and had to take the camera apart.
Yeah.
Were you able to save the camera?
I think that camera died. I forget.
I put 2 more links to cheap memory from Micro Center in there, $5 and cheaper for the 32 gigs.
Oh, okay.
So those are the ones that I found quickly. But
thank you.
So Art, how's the fires out there? Are they getting any better?
I wouldn't know. All I know is what I see in the news. I'm sitting here in Milford, Ohio.
Oh.
Art escaped. Art.
Yeah, I've been here for well, it'll be 3 weeks on Saturday night. So no, my wife has really bad asthma, and we decided to vamoose, so to speak. So from what I hear, the air quality is pretty bad. But as I say, other than what I hear from my friends and colleagues in California, I don't know any more than you do right now. We've pretty much decided that we're here for the duration. I'm assuming we'll be here probably through Thanksgiving. Generally, the only way the air quality gets better is when we start getting rain, and that can start anytime from late September to sometime in December.
I would think that the Santa Ana winds would blow it out. But
well, Santa Ana winds are Southern California. We have our own set of winds in Northern California, but we're also backed right up against a mountain range. So the Bay Area is pretty much surrounded by mountain ranges all the way around. So once the smoke blows in there, it doesn't blow out very easily.
Okay.
So at any rate, we're comfortable here, and this is working fine for me. So yeah, we're here for as long as we need to be. By the way, Leroy.
Yes.
Last week I saw the Zoom recording for the first session, but I could not find the second one.
We need to talk to Jim about the second one. Jim was supposed to record it because I was having all those problems and I was on my phone. So
it did ask me to convert it after we're finished.
Yeah.
And I think it probably converted it, but I don't know where it went. Where would it put it when it's finished converting it?
On Windows, I'm not sure. That it sticks the converted files in basically it's the documents folder. So it might be in your documents folder under Zoom.
There's a Zoom folder down there. Oh, look at this. 9/24/2020.
That would be last week.
It has no size. That's interesting.
Well, it's just a link, isn't it?
Oh, this is a folder. Let me look in the folder. There's a audio only, chat text playback.m3u, and the zoom.mp4.
The MP4 needs to be uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, that one.
Okay, I'll just put it over in. I'll put it over in your folder.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. And
then I can download it and upload it. That
right.
would work. If it's too big for that, we might just stick it on a flash drive or something. If you want to do that.
Properties, it's only 211 meg.
Okay.
That shouldn't be too bad.
That shouldn't be too
I'll wait till after the meeting before I try to move it up.
Yeah.
Now there should be a couple of files there. One is the video with the and is the transcription on the same one, or
you only get the chat if anybody posted something into the chat, that's the only time that shows up.
Okay.
I've got a chat.txt file.
And so somebody posted something to the chat.
I just copy all four of them up and away we go.
The audio only, there's an audio only version and there's something else. But the one that I always upload is just the MP4 is the one I upload.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we got audio only, chat.text,
And
playback.m3u, whatever that is, and the MP4.
yeah. And I just take the chat and open it up and copy it into the forum on the Wix site. So there may not even be any real significant thing in that chat window. You know how our chats are.
Yeah. What's going on with you, Ray? What the heck are you doing?
Not much.
No trouble, having fun, huh?
Well, sort of, I guess.
Oh
You
yeah.
got my video? There's my video.
There you go.
I've missed out on a couple of things. Sorry, I'm otherwise normally a loyal participant. But last week I was delivering a laser machine to Ashland University, and we're donating a bunch of parts, robot education development robot parts. And I don't know what I was doing before. I think I was on vacation, and we were out shopping. I didn't even think about it because my family had my attention completely. Something major happened recently. I bought a Bobcat.
Oh wow.
It's called an S130. It's I don't know. I guess it's about the size of a small car. Weighs about 6,000 pounds, a little bit less than 6,000 pounds. And earlier today, I ordered some extra stuff for it. Yesterday, I ordered some extra stuff. So I've got like a stump puller and forks and a flat bucket for it. And I bought some new taillights, new headlights, and some new claw teeth for it. So an S130 looks just like that, yeah. So.
Wow, buddy, oh pal.
This was used or new?
I bought a used one.
Time to turn it into a robot.
It cost me about $12,000. I'm not going to turn it into a robot.
Oh.
I'll definitely be able to carry a trash can in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had been using my next door neighbor, John Ridge. He's a friend of mine, next door neighbor over at the business, and I had been using his Bobcat, and I was just having so much fun over at the new building. I bought the other commercial building, and we hauled out 4 30-yard dumpsters full of trash, and those it cost me $400 each to get rid of those dumpsters. But these dumpsters, you could park 2 cars inside of them. They're huge. But if I didn't get to borrow his Bobcat, it would have taken me forever to clean out that building. But we knocked down block walls, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you'd still be cleaning that building.
Yeah, I'd still be cleaning that building. But while I was using it, I decided, hey, I'm gonna go clear out some of my trees and shrubs and everything on it's on the east side of my property, and maybe it's the west side. I don't know. It's on the river side of my property. And while I was over there, I got stuck, and I bounced over top of a tree, and I ripped the tire off the rim, and I killed the engine, and it wouldn't come back on. So I felt so guilty for doing that to my neighbor's Bobcat. So we had the Bobcat service company come out and fix it. It didn't really cost that much. It was a pickup tube, fuel line problem. And they fixed the tire, no big deal. And then I felt so guilty. I was like, I don't want to do this to anybody else's equipment anymore, so I'm just going to buy my own. So I went and bought my own Bobcat. And they delivered it, so I don't have a trailer, but that's going to be coming soon on my list to have a trailer. And then did I hear Jim McCrary say, "Oh buddy, oh pal, you need some stuff dug up there, oh Jim"?
Honeysuckle. I got about 3,000 honeysuckle left. I'm just kidding.
I have been tearing up honeysuckle, man. I've been tearing that stuff up. Yeah.
That's cool. You need to put a locator on that thing,
Here's something for you though. You rent the industrial commercial wood chipper, and I'll dig up the honeysuckle. Okay.
There you go.
Because once you dig up that honeysuckle, man, you got to get rid of it. And
yeah, most of my honeysuckle's gone. I was kidding. My tallest honeysuckle is probably 10 or 12 inches, but you know how that goes. But it took me years to get there.
Yeah, I have dug up probably 20 or 30, I'd say 30 honeysuckle bushes, and the root ball is probably 3 foot diameter without any dirt on it. But it's huge roots, and that base has like 8 main stalks coming out of it. Each stalk is about 3 inches diameter. And I mean, these are some huge honeysuckle bushes that are over there on the river direction, the river side of my property. And I just go over there with the Bobcat. I push it over, and the dirt is so soft down there in that property that the root comes out of the ground. And then I grab the root and I lift it up, and it comes right out. Those honeysuckle roots are so shallow. There's been a few of these I couldn't do. So I recently just bought a root digger, tree root digger, and there's an attachment that goes onto the Bobcat, and that should arrive next week sometime.
Wow.
So, more fun, more toys.
You need to get Leroy to build him a LoRa locator for the trailer and the Bobcat.
Yeah, to make sure if it ever gets stolen.
Yeah, like your trailer ran away from home.
Yeah. They don't get stolen, they just run away on their own.
Yeah. That way you can still locate them, though. Like my women, they run away for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Your woman's constantly running, isn't she?
Yeah, that's why I keep a camera. I can see her in the background right now. That's her hiding over in the background. Keep an eye on her. She's at her computer. She's in a Zoom meeting too. She was.
Well, here you guys are seeing beautiful Illinois.
Woohoo.
It looks like what was that? 74 or 70?
Yes, 72.
Yeah, I went back. Yeah, I drove back and forth to St. Louis past 2 weekends. So that countryside looked real familiar.
Yeah, 72 hooks up to 74 eventually.
Where are you heading? Effingham?
Home. I'm going home.
Ah.
I just finished another laser customer today. Most of the time, 99% of the time, I really enjoy my deliveries. Today was somebody that I would have preferred to said no and let them keep their money.
Watch what you say, Ray. You're being recorded.
I know. They know it too. They know I knew that today. But they're a good company. They make good money. They're and they needed the laser, and they wanted exactly what they had before, but that's not what they ordered. So when I got there, I got a bit of a surprise. I'm just glad that I had my service van with me, and I was able to find.
I think you broke up a little bit. We're down to about 50 seconds or so.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
in
we go
time
to
for
the
dinner.
second link.
Yeah, it's almost time to hop over to the other link.
Is Vicente not here today?
Do what?
Vicente is not here yet. Not here today.
No, he's been a little absent lately. He's busy with his new house. 15 seconds.
All right.
Everybody.
We'll catch you in the next session.
Yep. We'll see everybody in a minute.
Alrighty.